a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Hey everyone. That needs to be fixed. There we go. Alright. How's everyone doing? Hopefully game audio and everything is all good. Because I've made a bunch of changes in the last few days in terms of my OBS settings and whatnot. So, it's been a while. Definitely been a while. Alright, so we get going, continue on with the story here. Have to turn in this quest to Alpha Node. Yo, the Atron, as Newman serves as Ireland's literary archive. So does the structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. This building, you see, is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vault's key carved into the cliffside itself. Within the vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the echelon contains a physical history of Shireland's unwavering dedication of the accumulation of knowledge. So that went ahead and cleared that, so now we could go ahead and continue on with the actual story. Well, we won't learn anything if I was standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Alright. Oh, he's inside here. Alright, voices? No voices? Going to expect no voices. Yep. Greetings. We're here to pursue the echelon's thoughts. Pursue. Be used. You are clearly not clanners, then. May I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Balasan. But is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the military, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. But for the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What? So this is as far as we could go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Let's come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time, it would be too late, and we were so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for a moment, shall we? There's a Paulison. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt our, ugh. But I doubt our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It's likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to integrate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. I already touched this crystal, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the echelon, even though we found. Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it was wandering around tranquility, so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Squirrel, squirrel. Oddest little squirrel, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the echelon is open again. For some reason, I almost mistake you for someone else. Was that? Take you down on a lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a cleaner fellow headed out of the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll head down below after he's done with whatever he is doing. What am I doing? I have a mount. I could just use my mount. He's over here somewhere. Yeah, there he is. Figure he'll be over here somewhere. Quiet. You're frightening it away. Oh, it is you again. I don't I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloud I need to capture is close, very close. Hmm? You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than one. Very well. The the Kana is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green, and it cries a destructive caw. Single it out and shoot it with the sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the river to claim our Guri. Be sure to hit the right one. Alright. We move the camera as well as zooming now, target the Umbra. Okay. Oops. This one? I don't know. I wasn't paying too close attention. Apparently, that was the right one because it passed.
Fair shot.
Oh, forces.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
Interesting.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you'd do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Yeah, let's go and look at the mine shaft, Kappa. Okay, move on. Going this way. This must be it. The entrance is the mine shaft. It's fate, but I hear something moving within. Peter's homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering bees aside, we would need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Alright, what is this? headgear. This extra better. Alright, let's say, what do you have to say? Assuming everyone has tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the end of the tunnel. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna be like driving on through. I don't really care. So you're out into the center somewhere over here. Where I need to meet up. Fine, I'll fight you. Alright. I reached my destination. This is going to cause a fight. And then there's going to be another fight further down. See, something like this, I wish they did that with Shadowbringers. Because you get lost so easily in Shadowbringers. In one of the maps there, in one of the map areas. Hurry up and finish surfing before my thing cools down. There. Sure. Let me be flashy. So there's going to be an ad coming up soon. So let's see if I could clear this up. And then as we move on, we could just let the ad play. Everyone seems to have made it through Valley Incident. Nothing constant, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the Meadow Circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples of architecture produced. If Evelyn's assumption holds true, the specimens are being collected in preparation of a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research project. Let's follow the paths to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that. If you've never been here before, I usually run ads every 30, 45 minutes, give or take. We stop pre-roll ads. That's the only reason. So, see you in a couple minutes. While that is going, let's see if I can figure out where I'm going. Feeling I'm probably gonna want to go to this direction. Yeah, looks like it is. Yeah, looks like I'm going the right direction. Yeah, that's where I want to be. Alright, and we should be back. Let's turn that go ahead and just game to the next destination. So let's go ahead and survey this land and see what we see. See what we get. Voices? No voices? That's the real question. Do I have to read? Or is it going to read for me? Aha! Now I know where we are. This is merely economics. Lapros is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies of conservation methods utilized in foreign lands. And this facility that coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their laboratory colleagues, or so I hear. More notably, successes might make the those oh god, food so exotic. Oh, sorry. Food so exotic, you'd be hard pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name. Only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no cleaners hereabouts. Yet this worker seems to share that same sense of urgency. It's possible they know something of the foreign plans and their undying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what we can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for use for clues. Delois, girl. Oh, hello there. You weren't expecting visitors. Not with not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down there anyway? The mine shaft, you say? Well, you're much hardier so than I. Under no more good circumstances, I reward such tendency with a guided tour of the fields. I'm afraid the farm has filling odors has this filling odor list a melon long. Massive yet detailed requests. Literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of the grand reorganization, I assumed we would be suffering around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, huh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due time. Due course. Not the most satisfying answer. That guy doesn't like the answer, huh? Okay. Well, neither do I, so give me a better answer next time. Overwhelmed laborer. Do I have to be do I have to be taken down below more than I can carry and then some? Whoever a stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some have been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates on top the hill over there. God's hauling the lot up that slope has a job and a half. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to the particular locale and the very place upon which the laboratories were modeled, a region in the south of Isabard. What sunlight are you guys referring to? I don't know what sunlight you're referring to. Like, if we look at it source at time, it's 2:17 a.m. 2:18. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for moderate flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to suave temperature plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory if ever this contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Corfos before the Imperial renamed Locos Amoris. The firm saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates were strove to recreate within the confines of Lepros. Its sense provides a rich foundation of countless experiments in correlation. God, I need to figure out what what fucking device is fucking taking out. Causing me to. Oh man, really? I was about to broad my mouth and then you have to come along.
Cat to Godolph 39 just subscribed. I'm a sub.
Hey Oregon, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. God damn it. Stop. Stop. God damn it. I just fucking aggro another fucker. Just aggro another fucker. I don't want you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah, it's been a while. Leave me alone. Thank you. Jesus fuck. Did not meant to aggro that guy. Yeah, Oregon, how you been? It definitely has been a while. Hopefully you can hear me just fine and everything. Alright, the labels on the screen tells the story of their contents, bundles of common seeds and sampling, accompanied by shelves of reports. What is it? Oh, you've been sub for 3 months now. Jesus Christ, man. Then again, I think Beanie has been sub for almost a year now, I think.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
Ooh, voices.
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration.
I don't even know if my mic is actually working. Yes, it is. But I've made so many different changes, I don't even know what changes I've made anymore. This should be sending out.
As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we've failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
Oh, hi, Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can
There we
apologize
go.
later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all... Cryo?
Wake up.
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
You weren't even paying attention, were you?
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Don't worry, we're gonna lose him anyways.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Is Chris still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our glory slip away. Everville is heading westwards among the paths outside of Archelon. Come, we can still catch him. This way. Hold on a moment. I have an idea. If memory serves, the colossal wall-like structure is Longset Beta, one of Labraso's climate control centers. It should have its own lift, with which one could access the upper and lower tiers. If I were an agent of the forum, it will make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Everville and the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of apartments as we nonchalantly stroll past. Yeah, especially since we completely stand out way too much. Nye, we should have to remain undetected. If only Chiara and his vanish spells were here. I mean, I could vanish because I'm a ninja. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness. Aren't we a little bit too big to be frogs? Not accustomed to transfigurations? Really not. It wore off with the passage of time. Except you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Etherville. So you feel the magic fading. Return to me and I will refresh the enhancements. And what am I to do in the meantime? You're here with me. In your current state of mind, You'd be likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, were the creature's hereabouts? Were the creature's hereabouts in that form? You are essentially defenseless. You have changed into a toad. You remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objective. You will return to your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the your transfiguration's area of effect. Speak to Yastola to restore or prolong the transfigurations. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alpha Toad and Alatoad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to pursue quest objective. You can leave the quest companion behind by entering a different area, blah 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 blah. So yeah, basically the same thing. Oh, after 9 minutes. Oh, okay. Don't mind me. I have a squirrel accompany three toads. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Alato turns to face the north. Perhaps she's suggesting you cross the bridge. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. If a toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understands that he's trying to tell you this is the wrong way. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Yep, that's right. Go away. I don't need you. Did I go up there? It looks like I go up there. Ah! To get right berth. Or at least try to take as wide of a berth as possible.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlean scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlean was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
He knows. He knows.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Like I said, you should have just let me go out by myself. Cause I go into hiding. See, I could go into hiding. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I could go into hiding. I suppose we should have known a cleaner who specialized in animals and animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly perhaps, we discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This martyr's duty the farm agent mentioned. Charlene has been called to action, and the Tiporoso Declaration was the catalyst. Whatever change it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it is sufficient import. They deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Laparoth. Not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. What duty warrants the direct involvement of the farm and commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the cleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Astoria and Grail for the moment. See what they think of this. Where is she? Over there. God damn it. All I want to do is jump over the friggin' thing. Oof. I don't feel like dealing with level 77 slime so right now. This way. Welcome back. I trust you found everything. Interesting. I have a feeling you will learn something important, even if something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Grill and discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm. She was still behaving oddly, so I pay her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Oh. Oh, no, I'm going the wrong way. It was... Right there.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Who's she?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Uh-oh. Oh. Their father.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian.
Oh, the fucker.
A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Apparently so.
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
I thought you had access to it.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together.
You know what I say. Whoever stays together, gets together, Kappa.
I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuno, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
How are we interfering? We're just looking for the
entered
truth.
our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was
A
your
united
curt
front they don't
dismissal
want.
truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something
odd.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
What? What's wrong with you, man?
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Hey.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Yes, actually. What was this assembly about?
He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan.
Well, aren't you a bastard?
You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Yep, total bastard.
Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
And here comes an ad. Just in time for the ad. I'm gonna go ahead and play a 3-minute ad while I'll go take care of some stuff. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. Had to go to the bathroom and also move some clothes from the washer to the dryer. Anyways, go ahead and finish this quest. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city. And our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the form discovered in the Ethereal Sea. With our freedom so sorely forfeited, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Ireland. Hey, King Kellic, how you doing? Morning, morning. You're doing well? That's good. I'm doing really good. Just trying to get back into the swing of Final Fantasy XIV. You play, or do you just enjoy watching? The overall picture has grown clear, yes, but that's in spite of the form being so madly vague about the duty of theirs. Have I tried breakfast, lunch, dinner? Like every day? Why? What you ask? Is there a specific reason why? Don't really play PC laptop games, so don't have one. Well, this game is available on PS4 and PS5 as well, so not just on PC and laptops. The form being so madly fake about their duties. Have I eaten recently? Yes. Only breakfast and I guess dinner. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Why, you trying to watch out for my well-being? Of course, yeah. I mean, I am kind of like in a disastrous mood in a way. Survival, come what may, is father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Half a note. Erse, it is you. When I heard you've been dragged before the forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I am so very glad they allowed you to stay. Gotta keep our streamers happy, although they're capable of doing so. It's a nice feeling to give attention. Right? Especially those VTubers that actually relies on Bibble redeeming hydration. Me, I keep hydrated anyway, so. Okay. Take another sip for you. Fun fact. A lot of the redeems that I have available is actually automatic too. Well, most of them is automatic. So like if you play like one of the sound alerts that I have, it'll do something to my camera, for example. And I do have stuff that will automatically do things for me. So just to let you know, if you have the points to experiment. Gotta grind points then. Yep, gotta grind them points. Gotta grind them leap points. Mother? Emerald's Lulliver at your service. By the way, I butchered words a lot. English is very hard. You fine people must be the scions of the Seventh Son. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you were here. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Feroce are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. English do be hard, yeah. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Ooh, gifts. Gifts. Give me gifts. The timing couldn't be better. As matter stands, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Tell me about this game. I watch a lot of gameplay, but I don't really pay attention to the game and chat with the streamers instead, not gonna lie. So, Final Fantasy XIV, as you know, is a MMO. You know, you probably already know that. But basically, what it is... Basically... the story basically goes as you becoming like the Warrior of Light. You go on the adventure, you go slay people, yada yada yada. Basically, we're getting to the end of basically the Endwalker, which is the expansion batch that I'm on right now. Is basically the end of the current arc. So basically, ARR, which is 2.0, Heaven's Sword, which was 3.0, Stormblood, which was 4.0, so Stormblood, then Shadowbringers 5.0, and now this is 6.0, so this is Endwalker. They all make up the arc, which basically explained the end of time, which was basically the 1.0 patch, release. Because if you don't know the actual history of Final Fantasy XIV, basically Final Fantasy XIV, when it was first came out, was a disaster. So when they brought on Yoshi P to try to save the game, Yoshi P basically went to Square Enix executives and gave them basically two options. Option 1, nuke the game and rebuild from scratch, or option 2, just keep patching it and get by and be able to do nothing. So Square Enix basically told Yoshi P to do whatever he needs to do. So basically what Yoshi P did was took two teams. One team that worked on the original 1.0 and just worked on getting it patched and playable, because originally 1.0 was unplayable at all. While at the same time, he was working on A Realm Reborn, which is the 2.0 patch. And so, when it came time, he basically nuked 1.0 in preparations of A Realm Reborn. So now the story goes as you are basically figuring out like what happened with, like, so unfortunately I skipped through ARR and Heavensward and most of Stormblood, so I don't know so I wasn't paying too much attention to the story from there. But basically what it goes is that you basically learn about what happened with the flood. You know, what happened with the first. Because right now you're in the source. And basically you learn more about that in Shadowbringers because you had to go to the first. Now in Endwalker, you're basically towards the end of this overall arc and starting to bring everything together, because basically you have guys that's trying to destroy the world again. Now I can see why people would love the game. Yeah, because the story is really deep. You love a good storytelling? Same. Now I'm kind of wishing that I didn't skip over the ARR and the Heavensward's and most of Stormblood's story. But they do give you the option to basically go through and watch the story. Like if you go to an end. So you could do that. Which sooner or later I will get around to doing that. Maybe once I'm done with Endwalker. But who knows? It's hard for me to find the time nowadays. Yeah, I think the last time I streamed was about a month ago. Or was it more than a month ago? God, I can't even remember. It's been so long. Work, man. I have to, I have to make that money to feed my addiction. You're on a hiatus to next year? Is that for school or for work? For your hiatus? Go, visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. Hope you get lots of funds to make you happy. Nah. Never happy, always sad, because I don't get time to play games. Especially like story-driven games like this that takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to play. Oh, you're graduating high school this year? Nice. Be back after I got uni. Which university were you looking at going into? I'm not sure Ichigo, what do you think? Ichigo! Ichigo Sakura? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea. I insist that you join us. Hopefully as a full-fledged VTuber. Oh, so are you... So were you planning on actually going to an actual university, or were you planning on just becoming like a full-time VTuber? Or were you planning on going to university while being a VTuber? Planning on getting a degree on communication and creative thinking? Okay. I can see how that could be useful for for being a VTuber. That way you have ways to plan things out ahead of time. Yeah, if you want to know my opinion of what I think about colleges and universities, I personally think it's a waste of time. Unless you are going into the medical field or going into a legal field. So anything that involves like understanding the laws, regulations, becoming a lawyer, becoming a prosecutor, judge, whatever, or becoming like a doctor, dentist, pharmacist, whatever. I think those are probably the top two reasons why you probably would want to go to university. Everything else, you could technically, learn on your own and basically like get the certifications and stuff like that. But that's just my personal opinion. In my country, they don't care what you're good at as long as you have a degree. Yeah, that's technically anywhere though as well. Even in the United States, a lot of companies prefer that you have some sort of a degree. But a lot of times as well is that they will overlook your degree if you have the experience as well. It all depends on how lucky you are when you are getting a job. Even though it sucks, I do them. Yeah, basically. I mean, I haven't been back to school since 2005. I took 1 year of community college, and then I moved to a different state. And then when I moved to a different state, I haven't went back to school. And I just basically been self-studying, doing my thing. And now I'm working at a job making really good money. I have 2 active certifications under my belt. Referrals are very precious these days. Yes, it is. That is true. And yeah, you do need very good networking in order for you to get anywhere. Because if you don't have someone like in the end somewhere, it becomes a lot difficult. But if you have someone already in a position where you want to be in, it makes it so much easier compared to coming from the outside. But no, I understand why there's a lot of people that prefer to like actually go to school and get the get that degree and whatnot. It's just that, in my opinion, this thing is worthless. Because if you have the experience, either from personally doing it, or been working in a field that for X amount of time, I think that's more than enough than actually spending thousands and thousands of dollars to go to school. It's giving people a sense of security. Yeah, it does give some people a sense of security, but I think I know a lot of people who have went to school who have went to like colleges, universities, and whatnot, that got a degree in a certain subject, and then they can't find a job at all in the subject of study that they've been in, and instead they get a bigger entry level job instead. I got subsidized, so I'll take that degree. Yeah. No, the field what you're studying for makes sense though, because it will. What you're studying for does make sense in terms of what you want to do. Especially since you're trying to become a full-time VTuber, it makes even more sense because you don't need another company to back you up for that. That's as long as you have the resources to get yourself a model and get yourself a rigger, to rig up your model. Spend the time to understand how OBS works and putting OBS together and getting your overlays and your singers and your effects so done and whatnot. That's about it. That's all you really need. But if you're working for a company or whatnot, depending on what you're in, I don't know. I just have that unpopular opinion of what I think when it comes to school. In terms of colleges and whatnot. Like with my field, I'm actually in the technology field, so I'll do part time in early years, and we'll go full time in the long run. Yeah, that's how a lot of people tend to start off as well. Like they'll start off part time somewhere, like in an entry level job, and then sooner or later you might actually find yourself, becoming a man, becoming a management in that same company. I'm very happy that you share your thoughts with you. No problem. I have no problem sharing my thoughts at all. But yeah, like for example, I work in the technology field, so as long as I have certifications about the technology that I'm working with, to me that's more than enough experience. Hey, that's just me. But in either case, I hope you good luck. Hopefully you have a great time in university when you do go, and hopefully it doesn't cause you to lose all your money. Alright, where did I left off at? Oh yeah. What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Tripping out of Asia, I insist that you join us. I'm just starstruck. Oh, but we must be quick about it. Not for our own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Years ago, you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her an opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. But yeah, no, if you have any questions, concerns, if you want to know my thoughts about some things, do let me know. I have no problem letting you know what I think about things. My dad has a diploma in big news. He's great referrals and a great career. Has great referrals, but he kept rank. He doesn't have a bachelor's degree. I don't want to hinder my potential. I thought I want to work alone. We don't know the future. Might not make it VTubing. Well, the thing with being a being a VTuber, or should I say, being any kind of like streamer or content creator, being a content creator in general is hard, and I mean hard. You have to be constantly thinking of new content to provide. You have to constantly think of like how you want to interact with your you know, with your fans. You need to think about whether or not you want to be able, you know, if you want to stream your content, you know, be only like a streamer, or if you want to like record and upload to YouTube, stuff like that. It's hard work. That's why I always have a plan B to work for television or some sorts. So like becoming like an actor or something. Or just work like behind the scenes. Like there's this one tech YouTuber, called the Linus Tech Tips, who runs the Linus Media Group. I remember hearing that when he first started out, it was basically just him, and he basically just grew the way, you know, to what he is today, and he's still afraid of like losing it all at any point. Like the gray behind the scene, yeah. Yeah, like an editor of some sort. All I can say is that if you're serious about being a content creator, make sure you have the drive, because that's what you need the most. You would need to have the drive. Yeah, indie content creation is not a stable job. Yeah, it's not that. Like, it's funny because a lot of people think that, oh yeah, you know, streaming is easy. Oh yeah, making YouTube videos is easy. Yeah, making a video and uploading it or streaming is the easy part. You know, hitting the start streaming or start recording, that's the easy part. Being entertained, you know, being like, you know, entertaining your audience, that's the hard part. Because you need to be able to entertain your audience and make them basically make them have a reason to come back. And as you can see, I don't stream that often, and I'm not that I'm not that entertaining, so I don't drive myself as a content creator. So, because I do have a full-time job that, you know, that allows me to make money, this is more like just a hobby for me. It's a hobby for you, and yeah, basically, it's just a hobby for me, and that's fine. So every time someone subscribes to me, I'm like, why? I don't stream that often. Like, if you want to subscribe to use my emotes, great, but you know, it's not required. If it makes you happy, it's a valid reason. Yeah, it really is a valid reason. It's just, you know, I would love to be able to just stream more often, No, I have like a more consistent schedule. The problem is that my job basically does not allow me to do so because I'm always mentally exhausted afterwards, and sometimes I'm on call. So if I get a call, I have to break away anyways. But to be a full-time content creator, for like something like what you're aiming for, to be a VTuber, you need to have a constant schedule and constantly have the drive. They like being around you and supporting you and be proud and happy about it. Maybe that's probably why one person has been subscribed to me for like almost a year, even though only streamed like maybe once or twice a month, if that. Let's see what the future brings. No one can see the future. But all I can say is that I wish you the best of luck, man. I wish you the best of luck, King. Definitely let me know when you start. Definitely let me know when you start streaming. If you were you planning on using a different like a different screen name when you start streaming or VTubing, or because if you were going to use a different name, definitely let me know so I can drop a follow on that account. You already have your lore? Nice. You already stream? Nice. Are you using your current account, the King Kilo Lex? Or are you using a different name? No browser to follow though? Using this? Okay. It's King. Alright. No, King, let's do this. Let's go over here. Drop you a follow right now so that I don't forget. Alright. Got you a follow there. You do singing and MOBA sometimes. Like work on MOBAs. Karaoke. Ah, man, I haven't went to a karaoke stream in a while. League and Mobile Legends. Ah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Then again, I don't play mobile games. I don't really play. I don't even play MMOs that often. But Final Fantasy 14, I got hooked on. So here I am. So I'm in karaoke. Let's go. No, I don't sing. My singing voice is for the shower only. I have voice for the shower, not for actual singing. A soft spot, huh? If you want to call it a soft spot. Damn. What was the time? 19. Okay. Duke. Let's continue. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. So I am glad. Oh, thanks for the host. You have unlocked the automatic shot out. Yeah, I don't know why the host notification doesn't work. I think something changed with Twitch's API recently. The only reason why I knew you that you hosted though was because whenever someone hosts or even does a raid, my the app that I'm using will automatically send the shout out. So yeah, like I said, thank you for the host. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I'm glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. Hey, no problem. Like I said, thanks again for the host. You really didn't have to. What do you say, Ichigo? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Chairs, mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. Ooh, toys. I have to stop looting things. Oh, such a dirty mind. I mean, never mind. Literal estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on. It would not accompany you. Blah, 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 blah. Read this way too many times. I didn't mean to open you up. I mean to open you up. Duke. Alright. So, where am I going? I am going that way. So yeah, just down this stairs. The graphics are so nice, right? When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. What do you have to say? As children, Evernote and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meeting ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, came bounding down the path in panic, crying out my name. Really appreciate good hearts because I couldn't make any. That was me. I can't make any. I can't make any either. I can't make anything at all. That's why I commission people. Speaking about commission people, I did commission someone to make two GP arts of my OC, no Akira. And those two GP were purchased with commercial use rights. So those two would be, those two I'm going to be using to make merch out of. So expect those soon-ish, whenever she gets around to working on them. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out. And use them for merch like shirts and stuff like that. So yeah, look forward to them. Merch, let's go! Yep. I'll probably mission it. Like, I'll probably mission it first in my Discord server. Like, I don't know if you're like in my Discord server or not. I don't really post much, like, in terms of announcements and stuff like that in there. But I do every so often. So, if you want. And here you are at last. Please, do come in. But yeah, when I do make the merch, I don't plan on selling it for, like, too high of a profit, so... Should be fairly cheap.
Welcome home, my lady.
Ooh, forces. That's a nice house. Or should I say mansion? Jesus Christ. You're in Discord now?
What are you
Nice.
gawping at?
House liver and always Grenfur. Saigon headquarters must seem scrubble indeed. That's admiring to craftsmanship. Which choice should I choose? I think I'm going to choose this option. Science headquarters must seem scrubble and squarled indeed.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
I can't see not safe for work channels, although I'm of legal age. You could be able to get yourself access by going into the Club Rules and Info. If you go into the Club Rules and legal age in Indonesia 17. Oh, that's fine. If your legal age is 17 in your country and you want to get access to the not safe for work, I'm not going to say anything. Go ahead and give yourself the rose. Honestly, if you ask me, as long as you are mature enough to be in the... As long as you're mature enough, I really don't care. Yeah, I don't really pushing also. Just 1 of 5. Sounds good. That's where most of us are, anyways. Vibing.
If you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Mother guest time?
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience.
That's good.
But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
"'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them.
But what if I'm not watching over them? Question mark.
Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect.
Nice outfit.
Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect.
The absolute territory.
Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Oh, the memes were restricted too. Yeah, I marked some things as not safe for work because of yeah, the only reasons why memes and Akira Showcase is marked as not safe for work is to allow it to mainly to allow Discord to actually show the preview images in them. That's the only reason why. And also, some people tend to post some not safe for work memes. While the Akira Showcase, I try to not show like anything too lewd. Like you might see like successive lewd, but nothing too lewd in Akira Showcase, so you have nothing really to worry about. Two Wiggles. What kind of Wiggles do I have? I don't even remember. They have this, and that. And I have that. Or if you have BTTV installed, Enjoy some of the crazy extra emotes I have. That's from a channel that contains a mom and daughter VTubers. And it's 2 weeks. Oh, Leaf Fit. I believe I heard of them. I don't think I've actually like watched any of their content though. But I think I've heard of them.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Looking sharp there, half a note.
Clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
That is indeed the best emote.
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Such a gentry.
Wait. Are these...
Yeah, she keeps saying that she's a devil, but we all know that she's an angel. It's just too bad that she hasn't streamed the past week. I hope she's doing fine. I hope Ari is doing fine. Hopefully she's resting up, getting enough rest, stuff like that.
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father.
You just now realize that this part has voiceovers? What do you think I wasn't reading for?
Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless.
Yeah, I hope she's getting better. I didn't realize we were talking about this. See what happens when you get into a conversation and you start to like lose track of what's happening. Thankfully, I'm somewhat keeping track of what's happening, so it's all good.
Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Wink.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
That lady's body is very unproportional. Proportional. Extremely long legs and small head. I mean, welcome to Final Fantasy XIV.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion.
Then again, when I was making my my Nico girl, you know, her, you know, Ichigo, Sakura in the background there. When I was making her, I made her as short as possible because, you know, short girls are best. Like the royalty voices, though. Right? Oops.
Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man. But it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work.
Fucking vaccine. Yeah, short girls are, in fact, the best.
I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance.
What do you think? Like, what do you think my OC is as a shorty?
Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
I love her. She's basically telling them to, you know, go against their father's wishes.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
But keep your enemies closer. Looking sharp there, Afinode. I do like the absolute territory of Alisei, though. I mean, look at that absolute territory. Long boots. Short skirt right there. Okay, I have to stop. I need to stop looting people. Alright, before I continue on, there's like 15 more minutes before an ad starts. So I'm going to go ahead and just run a ad right now. I don't know if you've been in my streams before, King. But usually what I do is every like 30 to 45 minutes, I run like a minute 30 ad or something like that. And that's to just prevent pre-rolls from happening. That's the only reason. So if you have Twitch trouble, you shouldn't be getting ads. If you're a subscriber, you won't get ads. Otherwise, you're gonna be getting ads. Back from sanitizing your package. Welcome back then. But as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and run an ad now since there's like 15 minutes before an ad starts. And the only reason why I run ads is to stop pre-roll ads from happening. Only reason. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. Brand new underwear is Pog. I need new underwear and socks myself. Oh, that's running. Let's check what's going on. You don't get his love. You don't get ads. Nice. Are you Twitch Turbo by chance, or is it like a country thing? Sorry, I'm also like looking at different different screens up. Nope. All right. So it looks like the ad should be done here. All right. That should be done already. Maybe a country thing. Yeah, it probably is a country thing. I think in some countries they don't do ads at all because of one reason or another. Freaking phlegm. Look. Open some of you stuff up. Oh, you do get ads, but it's not this time? Okay. Maybe you were the lucky one then. Thank you for judging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her. And I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice. As well as these tokens of home that we carry with us. This gives to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentally. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Vincent MX, okay. I don't feel like running over there. Why run over there when you could just teleport over there? Hi, guys. Enjoy your time with the Lefres, I hope. I would ask how the trends fared, but the new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret of the Forum, strive to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Harridan is sure to guide us going forward. I just remember I played this kind of MMO before on my neighbor's PC when I was so little. I don't remember anything about it. Anyway, though. If I recall correctly, Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 came out in 2005? I don't remember. Let's look this up real fast. Final Fantasy 14 released. Okay, I was 5 years. I was 5 years off. It was originally released in 2010. So it's 12 years old. Final Fantasy 11 came out. Final Fantasy 11 MMO came out, and let's see, 11 release. Final Fantasy 11 was released in 2002, and that was a PS2 game, and that was also an MMO. That was the first Final Fantasy MMO that Square Enix released. But I think WoW been out longer. When World of Warcraft released. World of Warcraft was released in 2004. So World of Warcraft actually came out 2 years after Final Fantasy 11. And World of Warcraft is probably the most commonly played. It's probably the most commonly played MMO as well. Although Final Fantasy 14 is the most acclaimed MMO right now because of the graphics and whatnot. Might be that too, Nodders. Nodders. I'm confident that once we've heard a report from Davner, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move. Last arc. You know, I took a brief look at Lost Ark. I don't have it downloaded. I know it's free to play. Like, I know it's free to play and all that. But for some reason, Lost Ark doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me. That's why I haven't tried it. Like, the very first MMO that I ever actually played that got me hooked, you know, that I was hooked on, was, believe it or not, was Star Wars: The Old Republic. That MMO, I actually played till I reached max level when it was first released. And I even made a new character and got almost halfway. I almost made it to max level, but then I got bored of it. And the main reason I got bored of Star Wars: The Old Republic was because of the end game content. There was like basically nothing. I tried WoW. I couldn't get into WoW. I tried DC Universe Online. I got into it for about a day or two. Maybe it was a week, and then I just couldn't play it anymore. And then I decided to give Final Fantasy XIV a try. So I tried Final Fantasy XIV when ARR was in beta. I couldn't get into it. So I basically ignored it. And now, as of 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago? Or was it 4 years ago? It was either 3 or 4 years ago. I tried Final Fantasy XIV again, and I got into it. So Well, like I said, ARR was in beta. They basically already nuked the 1.0 patch at that point. So 2.0 was in beta release. So I tried it on the PS3 and on the PC to test cross-platform compatibility. And I just couldn't get into it. They were basically limited in terms of classes, and so I tried playing it, playing as Lollyfeld, and I just couldn't get into it. It took many years later when when it was Heavensward and Stormblood that was out that finally got me into it. Still the Holy Trilogy. Talking about Final Fantasy 14. Oh no, there's a lot more classes now. I don't either, even though I don't play stuff. I do like watching like Apex, League, etc. I don't really, to be perfectly honest, I don't really watch game streamers that much. Believe it or not, I watch more art streamers than game streamers nowadays. Like, the only reason why I watch Ari is because her reaction when she gets like subs and whatnot is just priceless and cute. Same, watch more music streamers. Actually, music streamers are actually pretty good to watch. There's like one or two music streamers that I follow that I watch every so often. It's really nice. Main category is just chatting and music. I hear ya. Yeah, my main category that I watch, that I lurk in, is primarily arts. Like, I can't do art worth a shit. Like, I suck at art. The best I could do is a stick figure. But I do enjoy watching, artists. But I do enjoy watching artists, do work. There's one artist. Oh God, I can't remember what her name is. But she could start off with a completely blank canvas. Brand new. Opens up CSP, Paint Choose Eye, whatever. Whatever program that she was using. Completely blank canvas, and have a fully rendered piece done in 8 hours. In that very same stream, and I'm just like, what? And she is chatting and interacting with chat all at the same time too, while she's working. Done in 8 hours. I believe she said that she could get a fully rendered piece done in 5 hours if she wasn't interacting with chat, if I recall correctly. But this simply amazes me, especially since there's some artists that I follow that could get pieces done in like within a couple of streams, and like their streams could be like 5 hours a stream or something like that. So being done in like 2 streams is simply amazing. From like a completely blank canvas to a finished piece. There's some art streamers that will have the sketch ready to go for stream, and so you just watch the rendering process. And it just simply amazes me, especially when each artist has their own unique style. So you with music producers? Oh, Tell me about it. Like I said, one of the streamers that I watched is, works on musics, and just watching her work in After Effects, I'm just like, I wish I was great enough to figure out how After Effects worked. Because she was working on mixing. Because I think her music mix was done, and so she was working on the video. She was like multi-talented. Some were really sensitive with pitches and stuff. You want to learn someday, right? Like, I would love to learn how to do things in After Effects. In fact, I made one thing in After Effects that I have set up as a special alert. And it sucks, but it works. Link to your channel? Oh shit. Let's see if I could. Let me see if I remember what her name is. Twitch. I was subscribed to her, so I should be able to find it very easily. Assuming that it's in the proper order. Oh, yeah, there she is. Here, I'll just do that. That's the that's her channel. Right? Only 600? Yeah, I found her channel like, God, how long ago was it? Like 6 months ago or something like that. And like, I came in, I really enjoyed her content. I really enjoyed like what she was working on, her company, stuff like that. And I basically subscribed right then and there. I'm no longer subscribed though, because she doesn't really stream that often, and I don't really use her emotes that often. I've been in the process of basically unsubbing from a lot of streamers that who I don't use emotes for, and I decided to support them by other means. So like, instead of like being subscribed to the channel, I might be subscribed to their Patreon, stuff like that. That way they have more of a bigger share. Especially since Twitch takes like half of the subscription costs. Like, I might donate bits instead, because with bits they get the full amount, or I'll just do regular donations. Like only those channels where I use the emotes in are the ones that I keep now. Or what I'm working on keeping only. So basically, if I don't use the emotes for said channel, I'm no longer subscribed. But it's his full amount. Yeah, so basically, when you buy bits, Now, this is assuming that you're buying bits. The cost of bits is always a lot higher than what the bits are actually worth, and that's because at that point in time, Twitch takes the cut when you buy the bits. Now, when you're watching ads, you get the bits because you are basically allowing Twitch to buy you to watch the ad in a way. But either way, that 1 bit equals 1 cent, and they get the full amount. You get gift subs anyways. Yeah, and the gift subs, and basically with those gift subs, it's basically the same thing as a normal sub. It's just that someone else is paying for it, paying the sub for you, which is, great. It's giving, and that's what I do. You have no idea how many subs I've gifted out in so many channels. It's usually because I want to support the streamer. Now, in some streams, I might no longer be sub to, but I still give subs to that channel because I want to basically get my support. Bro, I've seen you well on there, Arius. I can get the idea. So, let's see how much subs I've gifted in Ari's stream. Let's see. Show next visit. I have gifted 462 subs in Ari's channel. Compared to 622 subs in another person's channel. Compared to compared to 540 in another channel. I think there's only 3 channels where I have completely where I exceed 100 gift subs. No, I take that back. There's 4 channels where I've exceeded 100 gift subs. But there is one other streamer who doesn't stream on Twitch anymore. She streams on Bilibili now. And who was it? I think it was in December. I think it was in December of like 2019. Was it December 2019? Or maybe it was November 2019. In either case, yeah, that's a Chinese platform. But in either case, it was her birthday stream. Yeah, it was her birthday stream. And so I came in, and like everyone, and you know how everyone knows me for the most part. And I came in, and I basically was like, "Happy birthday," and I dropped 100 subs in her channel. Mind you, she was playing a scary game, right? You know, like a scary game. And so I was like, "Happy birthday, by the way." Boom. Needless to say, it took her maybe 10 minutes to calm down. It was very emotional. Actually, I think it was in December. 'Cause I remember taking a couple weeks off in December, and it was during one of the days where I was off. But her reaction was basically priceless because she was like, Simon, why? Yeah, needless to say, she had the game pause for like 10 minutes, and I think she quit the game because she couldn't because she was so emotional. But yeah, it was just a very wholesome. It was a very wholesome time. There's another streamer, art streamer that I found like 8 months ago or something like that. 7 or 8 months ago. I have a friend that I told about the streamer, and this streamer is the one where I've gifted like 544 subs so far. And I was talking to my friend. I was telling her about this streamer, and we were like, you know what? Let's drop 50 subs each. Because this streamer does not like it when you spend money on her. Like with bits or gift subs or anything like that. Like, she is fine if you commission her for artwork, but she doesn't like really like it when you like sub to your channel or stuff like that. So what she does is that after every 10 subs you gift, she'll time you out. And after 100 subs you gifted, in total, she'll ban you for like the rest of the day. So I got my friend involved to do 50 each, right? So I woke up early because because she streams early morning for me. She's out in France somewhere. So on the other side of the world. So it's like noon for her, while it's like 5 in the morning for me, something like that. Misses my friend to make sure she was up because she's like an hour behind me, because she's out in the West Coast area. Confirmed that she was up, and then we're like, we were just talking, like in a chat, like nothing's happening. And then they were like, wait, do they know each other? Like, everyone in chat was like, wait, do they know each other? And then she dropped the 50 first. So once her 50 went through, I went ahead and did my 50 subs. And yeah, let's just say that art streamer was like, what the fuck? It's like I expected Simon to do this, but I wasn't expecting this new person to do this. And so the streamer was like, I'm sorry, new person, but I have to send you to the void. Times her out, and then she was like, Simon, you know what you did, times me out. And so me and Meanie were just talking for 10 minutes. Me and my friend was talking for 10 minutes in Discord until our timeout was done. When our timeout was done, I sent another message saying, hey, that was fun or whatever, right? So she went and timed me out again. And then everyone in chat was like, wait, shouldn't you also time out this other person? And she was like, and the streamer was like, but I think she's no longer in chat. And then my friend sends a message, and she was like, oh, never mind, times are out. It was 50 subs each, so that's 5 timeouts. So every 10 minutes for that 50-minute time frame, me and Minnie would just talk back in her chat so that we could get timed out again. That was a fun moment. In fact, I think I have the clip still. Yeah, I remember clipping it. No, that's not it. Huh. Where is it? I thought I bookmarked it, but apparently I didn't. Apparently I didn't bookmark it. I'm sure I could find it sooner or later. Here's one clip to actually enjoy. Since there has been progress in both investigations, so we share the findings from our respective locales.
Your time in Thafnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the Ethereal Sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thafnir.
Welcome back. I just posted another clip of like the first time I dumped it like a massive sub. That was cute. Yeah, here's one from 2 months ago. And this one was the one where, so you know how I have my subs, my gifted subs hidden, right? She asked me like how many I've gifted out so far. And I was basically like, are you sure you want to know? Like, do you really want to know? So it was like, just tell me. I was like, okay. And at the time I was at 460. So there's the link.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Fodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal. Thus, the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained. And I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within.
Gun point. Yeah, whenever she goes to send someone to the void, she always posts that out. I have so many awesome clips that I like. So this was the very first time where I asked her like if she was curious of how many subs I gifted, and that was like 7 months ago. That was when I only gifted like 32 subs at the time.
Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope.
She's so precious,
I
oh my
would
god.
prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Yeah, now you know why I do what I do in her channel. But yeah, she mainly does art streams, but she does game streams every so often.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none.
Like, there's a couple of clips from Ari that I saved. Like this one. We must have a lot of VTuber Dakis. Not so much VTuber Dakis, unfortunately. There's only one VTuber Daki that I have, and that's of Yamachikas. But yeah, there's one of Ari's that actually, that, you know, that I saved that I liked. Also saved the limited edition Good Morning. Yeah, I saved a bunch of, I saved like quite a bit of good clips sometimes.
Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodra by a considerable margin.
Are you sure Avino is in the right group? With Alice, she knows a healing spell too. Which one? The Good Morning Honey one, or the Do you like my hands around your neck? That hands around your neck.
If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
Yeah, the hands around the neck one was like god tier. She could do that to me anytime.
And I am more than happy
She's
to fill that role.
Ari is our angel after all.
Armaments to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
That's why I said Ari is our angel. She's not a devil, she's an angel. The best angel there is.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
We can only hope. Can only hope. Mr. Bread meme. Yeah, I've been mainly lurking at your streams the last few times too. Let's see, 4 or 5 minutes. I don't know if you know Tape Rush, but but there was a conversation we had about her eye collar, you know, when she was making it, you know, doing her eyes, and so I did I did like a pickup line, and there's a clip of it. Ten worst pickup line. Hard to not agree. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think that pickup line was great. For being cheesy. All right. Actually, think about handing it a hair. Been a long night. Thank God I didn't play far in the game. You got any suggestions of who I should raid? If not, I have an idea of who I could raid. Because God, I have a couple of VTuber art streamers in mind. Unless you have someone in mind, just let me know. Coco's playing PUBG. I haven't played PUBG in freaking forever. Anyway, who is on? Oh, Juicy Dog is also on. Courageon. Oh yeah, she is doing art, isn't she? All right. Sure, why not? What's the raid message? Good question. I have no idea. Whatever raid messages want to do, I guess. I don't know what emotes people have. Is this is rating you? Sure, why not? We'll go with that. Sure, we'll go with that. Alright. Well, I thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Thank you for the stream. Yep. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me and hanging out. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and switch on over to this. And hopefully I see you again on the next stream.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know